Disappointment this afternoon, losing at the death in what looked like a good comeback at the end of the first half.
We've, last week's performance wasn't acceptable. The actual performance of last week was unacceptable. Today's performance is actually very good. The general play of it is, with the defensive unit, the shape up in midfield. We've dominated the game, and and then we go and lose 2 goals from set pieces because somebody can't pick up the man for, what is it, 5-10 second period where they've got to concentrate, pick up the man, and just make sure they don't score it. You come up against teams like Afc Dunstable that the majority of their game is based around getting fouls, getting free kicks, playing the ball long onto your back four with the bigger players trying to win flick-ons and in corners and stuff. And that's where you've got to be strong, and that's where you've got to stand up. And you can work on as much as you like throughout the week and what we did. And I thought the pitch was a bit bobbly, so we couldn't quite get the ball into feet a bit, but we still tried to do the right things, got the balls into the right areas, and made a few opportunities. And then if you can't go and defend corners when you've got that concentration for the 5-10 seconds to just stop your man from getting on the ball and getting a clean header at it, it's just it's the basics of football to stop your man scoring from a set piece, and twice today we've not done it, and that's killed us.
Of course, we've got to look for positives because we need to do that with the game coming up so closely on Bank Holiday Monday. But it's certainly good to have a greater collection of players to pick from, and also seeing Jake Bettles come back.
Yeah, I had a look at it again this week and thought what it is we maybe need to give the squad a little bit of a spark, and to be able to have the bodies to handle the likes of this weekend, and then going into Saturday, Wednesday next week. We've brought Jake back in. He's delighted to come back in and be involved with us till the end of the season, which is good. Like I said, for me, the negatives today is just not being able to defend for that 5-10 seconds. The actual general 90-minute play where we've got good lines, we've got midfield blockage, we've got the ball up into good areas with the strikers and everything. We've created some chances. We should have probably went 2-1 up. Sam Warburton's went in, and the goalkeeper's made an unbelievable save again. It seems to be happening week in, week out that goalkeepers are pulling off the world of games against us. So the actual general feeling of it was very good, and then two sucker punches of not being able to pick your man up for that small period's killed us.
And of course, you did mention the fact they are a strong team. They're a strong physical team, and that doesn't bode well when you've got 2 games in 2 days practically, where you haven't got time to recover.
No, you don't get much recovery time at this time of the season. With the game coming up in less than 48 hours now, and that's why the boys have got to look after themselves. Have got to do things properly and make sure they recover. It is semi-professional football, so we obviously don't have them in like tomorrow to get that recovery. So that we've got to put a bit of reliability on them to be able to go and do it. And the ones that do want to, the ones that do want it, the ones that have the bit of desire, the bit of passion to actually want it, will look after themselves tonight, and will look after themselves tomorrow, ready for the game Monday. And that'll be clear to see once we pick a team going into that. So you've got to put a bit of trust in the boys to be able to look after themselves.
You've got to be aware that it's going to be another warm day on Monday, a bit like today, on a very hard surface. At least you're playing at Steel Park. It's been watered this morning. We'll have a bit more of a bounce and spring in it.
It might have, but because it's so dry and it's so hot, that it's probably going to play similar. It's very difficult to get that into a pitch, when you've got kind of limited facilities. These clubs that can just pop up the sprinklers is not bad 10 minutes before kick-off. So it is going to be similar conditions to what it was today, but I felt like we handled the conditions well. I thought that we handled 95% of the game really well today, but that 5%'s let us down, and it's again against us and not for us. We've had opportunities from corners, we've had opportunities in general play, and it just seems to be that they had a block in the first half that's an unbelievable block. The boy throws himself from nowhere. The Warburton one there, we had a couple of corners that went in, and it just never went one side of us. Diggs has flicked one on from a cross that we all needed somebody at the back post to tap it in. We've got 2 of them nearly there, and that's the difference. That 5% just seems to be going against us over the last maybe couple of weeks rather than going for us.
Oh well, all back to Steel Park Monday afternoon for the Axley game. We'll speak to you then.
Cheers, thank you.